før vi går over til noget andet, men jeg tror, han vil forklare om det. Det er nogle erfaringer, man har gjort sig de sidste par uger på Rådhuspladsen i København, men også man har gjort sig i tusindtal på pladserne rundt omkring i Spanien. Josto er en af de spanier, der har startet et netværk op for reelt demokrati, ikke bare i Danmark, men i hele Europa. Og han vil sige lidt om deres kamp, og hvordan det hænger sammen med forholdene i Danmark, og lægge op til, at de samler sig og begynder at snakke lidt sammen. Men Josto, det er nu. Han vil holde sin tale på engelsk, men så ødelagt det vores uddannelsessystem trods alt ikke, så jeg håber, I kan følge med. Hej.
Hi everybody. I don't speak Danish, sorry about that. But still, you know, like I'm gonna try to explain to you what is this thing of the real democracy platform that happened in Spain the 15th of May. And as a nice guy that is around here told me last week, it's worth to not to talk about truths, but about facts. And you guys will realize, right, what is the truth yourselves. So let me just start saying that I did a little bit of research yesterday on the internet. I'm a PhD student, so you know I want to talk about things that can be corroborated. And the very first thing I'm going to say is that the minimum wage in Spain is roughly 5,000 coronas a month. 6 out of 10 workers get an average of 7,000 coronas a month. Right, so just get these two amounts in your heads. The unemployment rate in Spain right now is the 21%. And in order to fight unemployment, our governments have created new laws to support the creation of temporary contracts, which wage is actually the minimum wage, right? Now, here's where the scary part comes. The most expensive cost we have, right, in our lives is housing. Now, to purchase a house in Spain, you will spend around 5,000 coronas a month for the monthly mortgage quota, right? But renting is even worse, because it's around 6,000 coronas, right, a month. So what that means is that in the best case scenario, our destiny is zero savings, right? Work and work and work without being able to enjoy our time. No money to enjoy our time, right? But in the worst case scenario, what this means is that we are in a constant debt, right? A debt that we will never be able to pay ourselves. And it will be passed to our children and even our grandchildren. So the main reason because the real democracy movement started was because some people got pissed off with this situation, and they decided to camp in the main square of Madrid, which is Plaza del Sol. And amazingly, you know, like loads of people started joining them, right? In the 15th of May. Up to yesterday, there were around 5,000 people every day camping or going there, you know, like to participate in the assemblies. And the most amazing thing, right, is that these guys that are joining are not only from the left, they're also from the right. They're also conservatives that are tired of not being able to enjoy their time, right? So the essence of the platform, the essence of this movement is actually that. It's actually having enjoying our resources, to enjoy our lives, right? And everybody's voice has the same weight, right? Everybody, you know, we're all, you know, like united in this fight. So the real democracy platform sees commonalities with your claims, guys. We do see commonalities between the Spanish situation and the CSC conflict. First of all, we are suffering an attack against values of human dignity and against social rights. And we are also suffering the abuse of the economic oligarchy supported by fake democracies, right? So, but still, again, we don't support you, we support you holding no flags, because as I guess, the CSS labor force, as the Spanish counterpart, includes people from the left, from the right, anarchists, conservatives, everywhere is included, right? We truly believe that governments and trade unions require reforms to protect us against this economic oligarchy, right? And now I would like to throw a question for you guys. Do you guys think that your government and that your trade unions and all those representatives of the citizens require reforms here in Denmark too? I am very, very curious about an answer to that question, guys. So it would be nice to initiate a debate ourselves to see, like which are the commonalities. I don't want to extend my speech anymore because otherwise it was going to be too long. But I would like to hear your voices. I would like to see, like what you guys think about this, right? As there's lots of people here from different groups, I suppose, and again, like people that might have, very different ways of thinking. But I'm pretty sure that we have commonalities, right? Issues that we have to fight all together, I suppose. So please. Yes, okay. So guys, what if we go, like to that small tent, and we, like we can actually, sit down as well, like in the floor, or stand up, like, and let's have a little chat, like a little discussion. It doesn't have to be, like super long, it's all up to you. Whenever you feel like leaving, like just leave. But for those that are interested in talking and giving, their opinion, please, like join us, and let's discuss a little bit, yeah.
Vi vil runde den her officielle del af demonstrationen af ved at huske på nogle småting. For det første, sådan en arbejdskamp af den her størrelse og den her centralitet, den kræver penge, den kræver opbygning af netværk, den kræver at CSC-arbejdere og alle der støtter dem, siger kommer ud på store arbejdspladser i Københavnsområdet, dels for at samle penge ind, men også for at samle support, samle opbakning til at begynde at få den her kamp flyttet ud af CSC's rækker, for ellers skal man ikke vinde. Det er en stor opgave for alle, både CSC-arbejdere, fyrede, strejkende og lockoutet og alle der supporter. Den ene ting. Den anden ting det er, at der er en demonstration i det her initiativ, Demokrati og Real, næste søndag, som er en europæisk aktionsdag for reelt demokrati i Europa. Og så er der, som Mathias sagde, blokaden op på på UCC op i Kuden Hovedgade på onsdag. Og så vil jeg sige rigtig mange tak til jer, der mødte op i dag. Det er måske småt, men altså, det kan jo ikke være vores skyld, at de store organisationer ikke synes, det 30% lønnedgang er vigtigt nok til at støtte op om demonstrationer. Så vi fortsætter og bygger op, fordi at fremtiden, den står, uret står til kamp, kammerater. Tak for en god dag.
To create, that the world was made for our taking, that wars are inevitable, that poverty is unavoidable. As we learn more about our global community, a fundamental truth has been rediscovered: we are not so different as we may seem. Every human has strengths, weaknesses, and deep emotions. We crave love laughter, fear being alone, and dream for a better life. You must create a better life. You cannot sit on the couch watching television or playing video games, waiting for a revolution. You are the revolution. Every time you decide not to exercise your rights, every time you refuse to hear another viewpoint, every time you ignore the world around you, every time you spend $1 at a business that doesn't pay a fair wage, you are contributing to the oppression of the human body and the repression of the human mind. You have a choice to take.
instead of you know, like being a little bit separated, let's unite, if you like. Whoever that wants to have a little discussion. As I was saying before, you know, like we could have we can talk a little bit about what do you think about all this movement and how it could be applied here, or well, whatever you like. So let's just gather whoever that wants to speak, right? And let's have a chat. Thanks. Referring to our parents and our grandparents, where they couldn't choose so much the education. So they were born ignorant, and many of them died ignorant as well, right? But ourselves are a little bit different. In Spain, for instance, you know, like the vast majority of the people of my age hold a degree. What this means is that, you know, like holding a degree in Spain is not giving you a job anymore, necessarily. But at least what it gives us is the intellectual resources to think, right? So please, guys, you know, like feel free to say whatever you guys think. And answer, you know, like to the people that are talking.
But I don't have a PhD in economy. So I can't open my mouth. I can't use my voice.
Do you need a PhD in economy?
I could train you.
How long do you do here?
How long?
I'm talking about this one.
We're starting now.
Yeah.
Do people know about the EU directive that's going for vote on the 27th? Okay. It's an EU directive. We talked about it on Wednesday at Studenterhuset. That's gonna make all advisements from the World Bank and IMF to kind of EU law. So we have to abide whenever the IMF or the World Bank is going to advise. Anyway, we have a demonstration next Sunday, the 19th, and it's global. But we really need to have a bigger turnout than this. I mean, the last 3 or 4 times, it's been okay. We've been from 50, 20 to around 100, but it's not enough. We need to make Copenhagen aware that if you don't go on the streets, this new EU directive is gonna screw us big time, and we're not gonna notice it before it's way too late. So, anybody have any suggestions or know any kind of tubes to go out and get in touch with people? Because we really need to have 5,000 and not only like 50 next time.
Yeah. We're talking in English, yes? Yeah, okay, we're talking in English. I have the suggestion that Krit, the chalk, is innocent. I've just come from Granada, and I see that everybody is writing on everything that is possible to write on. Old pap cases, I don't know, paper, and it's really a creative process. It's wonderful to see everybody's just writing on papers on everything. And the first thing for me, I want to say to the Danish people that when Fogh Rasmussen came in charge 8 years ago, he changed the leading of the television to a Venstreman, and after that we don't see what's going on in Europe. There are millions of people on the streets in Europe, and it's not only Spain. This 19th it would be all over Europe, but Danish television is not showing nada, nothing. And we are a country who went out with the right to freedom of speech.
But we really need to present this for the other people so they can see the brutal violence that the state forces do upon our brothers and sisters in the whole of Europe. This was my solution for today, but we really need some ideas to do something, and I run out of ideas.
So do you think that the interest, 100,000 people on distortion and 20 people for fighting here in this place? Give them free beers and you fill the places like hell?
I think it's about getting out and getting personal contact with people. On the 2nd of April, we had a demonstration called Afskaf VK, Visa Danmark tilbage. And for the first 1.5 months of the planning and all, we didn't really have a lot of people turning into the Facebook page. Then for the last week, we went 10 people on the streets. 10
10 people with flyers, the megaphone, with a whole bunch of noise. And people just jumping around and giving flyers and talking to old women, young children, upset men, and we talked with anybody. We had like this little group. In the end, it turned out that we had like 5,000 to 6,000 with us that Saturday. So I really think they don't care. They just don't know that they care. They don't know what's going on. In Denmark, we always have a saying, "Gør din ret, kræv din pligt." I don't think that it has changed that much. I mean, we are really still very social. The problem is, we've gotten too rich. It's inconvenient to be on the street. It's inconvenient to do anything. And when the media don't tell anything, I mean, if people saw what happens to old women in the streets of Barcelona, they would be full of rage as I was the first time. I mean, 60 plus ladies sitting in the streets getting beat up by masked state police in Europe. This should not be going on. I mean, I get so angry whenever I have to talk about it. It's not supposed to be like this. And that she, he, and some over there don't know is simply just not enough. It's not a good enough reason. We need to all be going out, and I don't know, not all be going. We need to find creative solutions.
From the press here, what are you doing for us?
Yeah, I'm making for local television, TV Minor, and YouTube, and yeah. So it's underground.
Yeah, underground
well,
news.
Still, you know, like good enough.
It's just so different because I'm not coming from Denmark either. I'm coming from Sao Paulo, Hamburg. And you know, when there's something going on, there's 2,500, 3,000 people. And this is honestly, I joined that now since 3 weeks. This is really disappointing. And also, where are the Spanish people today? You know, like yesterday, last week when we fucked it up with the information.
I've seen this people. I've seen people paying on television. What's it? They want to close the borders, man. What the fuck? A door is closed. We cannot see what's going on, and we can. Next is that we cannot get out.
I think we all agree on all the issues. That's not the problem. The problem is to get the message out. And we need to put up some posters saying there's a demonstration every Sunday, something is happening. We need to send some text messages. We need to get some more stuff going on Facebook. And we need to use the manifesto from the Spanish Revolution. Because people are always talking about, what is this? What are we doing? Why are we here? Yeah, but use the manifesto. And to the meeting on Wednesday, I'm gonna translate the manifesto to Danish. And then we have to make some flyers out of it and show it to people at the meetings and at the demonstrations. And we need to get out, because we all agree on a lot of stuff, but people don't know about this shit.
Anybody know anybody or have access to like large printers? Because I mean, either at work facilities or at school or anything. We really need people to have that can do the printing and that can do the putting up. I mean, it's not about not only about the ideas. It's also about getting people out on the streets.
People, I suppose that people that want to be involved in this, you know, like the ones that have the possibility of printing, I'm not saying 200, you know, copies every day or every, you know, like Sunday, whatever that is, right? But maybe, you know, like 20, 30, 50, you know, why not? I can do that myself at work, you know, I don't think there's gonna be any problem. If I do print 200, maybe, you know, my boss is gonna cut my balls, you know, but
I don't speak medias or something.
Well, I've been trying to write them for 3 weeks now, and nobody have replied. Even the most like progressive party called Modkraft. I've texted them so many times with links and different kinds. They haven't replied any answer any of my posts. So I think the media is even the alternative media doesn't really know what's going on because the official media isn't telling anything.
I mean the direction, like because the information is the most important thing to spread out, and this is the first problem. And the direction should be like not to find like a temporary solution. but like to have an ideas how to create our own media. Like as with this thing, like 20 minutes like bulletin on the Rothfussplassen, the information, and then move away. Then the next day 20 minutes. I mean,
there are inalienable truths that we should abide in our society. The right to housing, employment, culture, health, education, political participation, free personal development, and consumers' rights for the healthy and happy life. The current status of our government and the economic system does not take care of all these rights, and in many ways is an obstacle to human progress. Democracy belongs to the people. Demos, people, kratos, government, which means that government is made of every one of us. However, in Spain, most of the political class does not even listen to us. Politicians should be bringing our voice to the institutions, facilitating the political participation of the citizens through direct channels that provide the greatest benefit to the wider society, not to get rich and prosper at our expense, attending only to the dictatorship of major economic powers and holding them in power through a bipartidism held by the inamovable acronym PP and PSOE, which are basically the conservatives and the socialists in Spain. So lust for power and its accumulation is only a few, creating inequality, tension and injustice, which leads to violence, which we reject. The obsolete and unnatural economic model fuels the social machinery in a growing spiral that consumes itself by enriching a few and sends into poverty the rest, until collapse. We will, and purpose of the current system is an accumulation of money, not regarding efficiency and welfare of society. Wasting resources, destroying the planet, creating unemployment and unhappy our future to an abstract economy which never returns benefits for the most. We can limit that abuse that we are all suffering. We need an ethical revolution. Instead of placing money above human beings, we shall put it back to our service. We are people, not products. I am not a product of what I buy, why I buy, and who I buy it from. For all of the above, I'm outraged. I think, and I can change it. I think I can help. I know that together we can.
This is publishing articles about us. A few years ago, Julian Assange was a weird outcast, a hacker. Now he has the throat of the established media. So what I want to say is, do not get frustrated when the mainstream media does not pick up the torch immediately. They do not do this because they're evil or because they have some sort of hidden agenda. They're just slow and they're complicit. We, on the other hand, we have to pick up the torch that the mainstream media has left. Through WikiLeaks, we can all become journalists. But what it requires is political and journalistic integrity. We must not become a fringe group. We must not become involved in conspiracy theories of violence. We must pick up the torch and we must show people the truth. And the truth is out there, but we have to pick up these journalistic values and principles. So don't be depressed. Don't disparage, because the media, the mainstream media, will pick up on it. Politiken is already cooperating with WikiLeaks. They have had access to the leak about the banks, the international banks. They're picking up the torch right now, but it's slow. We have to pick up the torch for them. So don't disparage.
I suppose that one of the things maybe I could say is not spending paper like crazy. Right? Definitely one of the things I'm gonna do, maybe we should try to find a nice design we can share, right? Something something that doesn't go, you know, like just, you know, like in a piece of paper, like in the one I have, right? Because this is actually the original the manifest with your workplace. Well, maybe people just will read, you know, Manifest of Real Democracy now. Period.
We have democracy.
Exactly. So it's all about, you know, I guess, you know, trying to maybe, you know, like
doing it in new ways.
Yes, a little bit, right?
I think the card show or something, the painting in streets is a really good idea.
Yeah,
you don't have permission.
No.
Do I need permission, mister?
No.
Basically involve organizations.
We did pages on Facebook, then we have one WordPress, and there's some on the Anon KVH, and that's the problem. And it's not. It's really hard to organize something this new, and it's not really new, but it's so divided. We are still very
fragmented. Yeah. I'm actually quite interested in this whole situation from a psychological perspective. Why are we here? Why are we here? Because a lot of people, they're not here. We are minorities.
I think we recognize the situation.
The situation
Two things. We recognize the situation, and we know that there are people there who also feel this way.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are not here because they think that they're not benefiting. That's the thing. If they knew, if they understood why they're here, why they benefit, they would be here. And why do people? What influences this understanding of what they benefit? I'm here not because I'm materialist. I'm benefiting in any material sense. I'm not being paid. This is volunteer work. So I'm doing it because I have an ideal. I have an ideal, and I'm trying to activate more and more my empathy. I'm trying to practice more this idea that I feel less alone if I open my heart up to the suffering and the joys of all living beings in this world. It results in a fundamental solitude in me. But these are ideals, these are values, and these are things that I benefit from because I prioritize something idealistic over something materialistic. I could have had a fucking well-paid summer job like I had last summer for an insurance company, but I said no. I would choose to work do volunteer work here. I would choose to do volunteer.
This party is an underground distortion. Go there, and then there are 200, 400 people in front of this house, so they cannot sell the house anymore. And they just invite tourists from the main train station, airport, go to this. So there are good actions around, and we should maybe decide on, okay, who wants to join this action? Can you imagine to make this action? We shouldn't invent the whole thing new. We should also see what works in other countries. I don't know who was first.
I'm not sure if it was me actually. But what I want to say is that I think, of course, we shall invite them, the English, but I think it's a very big problem that they are not spreading it out to their members. They are not, doing anything for their members to come, but to their supporters. And I think that's a very, very big problem. And I think we have to but then we also have to be a strong movement with lots of people on the street and stuff like that. But I think really it's a very big problem.
The revolution starts with yourself. I'm sorry, and we are just.
We don't need the establishment right now. We don't need to become a political party. We don't need to be a part of the established media. We need to change them. We don't have to be popular. We're the dark knights. We're the hero the city deserves.
I just want to say that the biggest issue here is spreading the information. So the main idea is like people to organize themselves in order to solve this problem. The information should just be out there.